Hi everyone, thanks very much for joining us. I'm Philip Duncan. We've got the forecast right up until Labor Day Monday as we fine-tune the nor'west winds that are off and on around the country. But right now, we have a trifecta of highs. That's what Aaron Wilkinson, our forecaster, described them today. A trifecta of highs. And that is basically keeping things much calmer than they've been. There's been a bit of wind around Auckland lately. A much calmer day today, which is great news. The sun's also breaking through at times, but this subtropical airflow drifting down to the north, that's with northern New Zealand pretty much for the next several days. So don't expect any cold weather coming anytime soon for the north. But the south, under the high pressure, tonight's a bit of a cold one. Some of you down to just 1 degree, so there could be a frost through parts of Canterbury, for example. However, into Thursday afternoon, those same areas that are down to 1, 2, 3 degrees tonight, maybe up to 10 degrees warmer than average on Thursday. That's the interior of the South Island, breaking the 20-degree mark on Thursday. But in the north, as you can see, that mild airflow comes down. We've got a mixture of early morning drizzle, long dry spells, and afternoon downpours. The 3 Ds, drizzle, dry spells, and downpours. We'll be seeing those developing off and on, as I say, for the next week around the North Island. Pretty calm on Thursday in the South Island though. By Friday, not a great deal of change. The winds pick up a little bit in the south, and that will again push temperatures up as we go into the afternoon. For northern areas, those showers again, the pale blue colouring means it's a risk of drizzle or a risk of an early shower. It still could be fairly dry though amongst that area, so it's not rain across the whole region, just a few showers in the mix for you. Okay, let's get into the weekend. Saturday. First of all, we're going to start with Australia because this relates to us. These rainmakers out here in the east and the south of Aussie is boding very well for New Zealand. We're starting to get the leftovers from Aussie. Now, a year ago, we were getting the leftovers from Aussie, but it was the drought. We were catching the highs that were creating their drought. We did a headline saying we've caught the droughts they've got, and we got a lot of pushback from people saying you can't catch a drought. No kidding. I was talking about the weather pattern, which is made for the same drought conditions back in New Zealand. So this year, this time around, what we're getting, the leftovers of their rainmakers. And I'm hoping that as we go into November, we get more of that weather because they're going green at the moment and we're drying out. So we need these rainmakers coming our way. These showers will be helpful, but they're not necessarily going to be accumulating a lot because they'll be here and there isolated, hit and miss. Into Sunday, and the winds pick up further right across the country, so you'll feel those the warmer winds in the eastern areas as we push into the 20s by Sunday. There is rain though building on the west coast, mostly in southwestland, south of Hokitika, and we've got later on in the day some showers and a bit of a southerly change coming into Southland. And here we are for the final map. We'll go into Monday. This is Labor Day Monday, and the nor'westers are blowing around the country. The showers, though, in northern New Zealand, finally, mostly break apart. There might be one still in the Waikato region in the afternoon, and also down towards Taranaki, but really the rain is on the west coast, and there is a cooler change coming through, which peaks on Tuesday across New Zealand, and that rain will move up to about the halfway mark, but it won't go further, we don't think, because of the high pressure belt. And just before I go, speaking of next week and speaking of the Aussie rainmakers, see what's happening here? The rain is moving out to sea, getting caught up in this system. So that's why it's really good, optimistic, to see rain out here in Aussie. That's what we want to see for our dry regions back in New Zealand. And also La Nina, for those who watch the news, you've probably seen the government forecasters talking all about how we're going to get cyclones coming up. Yes and no. I mean, yes, every year we get cyclones, so that's not really a news story. It's whether or not they come down our way. And La Nina encourages warmer waters this side of the Pacific. That's why there's an increased cyclone risk. Whether New Zealand gets hit or not, every year that's complete fluke. It's like a bowling ball, and we're one pin that bowling ball has to hit. So we do usually get them around the New Zealand area, but this year there is a heightened, increased risk, I should say, of a cyclone in the South and Southwest Pacific. That is all from me. We'll update you again tomorrow with the latest.